Hello everyone, this is Malonb or Malon from Facebook or Malon Shop. I apologize for the camera angle. I'm still trying to find a good spot for it since I'm starting to use my camera via my iPad. So I'm still trying to find a good spot for it, and also about the lighting, if it's bad. I don't know if it is. I'm just in front of my window, so hopefully some of the natural light helps it out. But let me just get started. This is my cast-off crew video on Wednesday, and I actually don't know what number it is, but I'm sure I'll put it in the description or the title or whatever. I only finished one object, which is the hat made by Zoe's pattern, or with Zoe's pattern. I know I showed it last time. It was a work in progress. I finished it and it looks like this. Because the colors are so alike, I know that in general the spiral doesn't show up that well. I think next time I really will try to use maybe more different or more complementary colors rather than colors that are so close to each other. But of course, if you can see, I didn't do the ribbing the whole way. I just did a little tiny bit, so it's more of a slouchy, and the only difference I did via the pattern is I used half double crochet stitches as opposed to the double crochet stitches that the pattern calls for. The last couple of times that I made the pattern or used the pattern, it always came out a little too big for me, so I thought maybe it would help it some. This is still a little bit baggy, so I would still have to kind of adjust it to my liking next time, but I think it came out a lot closer. But yeah, next time if I make it again, or when I make it again, if I come up with something that fits me really well, I'll definitely show it. Hopefully Zoe does not mind. And again, that's just whenever I get to it, which I have no idea when that would be. I'm also working on two other projects. The first one also I showed you guys, and to be honest, I don't remember if I even worked on it at all since the last video. So if I'm showing you the same thing with no progress, that could be, that could happen. I honestly do not remember if I worked on it or not. If I did, it was probably so little that I don't even remember it. So, but it's that crochet bag for my aunt. So I will make myself work on it just because, Christmas is coming and I do want to start on other things or do other stuff. And I don't know if it's because I get either lazy or I guess I realize I have a problem with working on projects that take a long time to do, but whatever. So this is it. I'm sure you guys remember the bag. And again, I'm sorry if I'm showing you the same thing as last time, but I just don't know if I worked on it or not. Again, it's looking like that. I will try to make myself work on it. I think I'm a little over half done probably, so I don't know what's holding me up with that. But that was that pattern I got from Olivia's Crochet Along from last month. She does have a couple of new patterns up for this month, which I did take a look at. I don't remember exactly what they are. I have not started on those, but I definitely will. So hopefully by next week I'll have more to show you guys. And the last project I'm going to show you is, I didn't mention to you guys that I wanted to do a pixelated kind of blanket. I finally came up with a pattern or a chart for it. And I just finally started, so let me get that for you. Alright, so this is my chart, and of course, being a video game fan, it's video game related. So this is how the pattern will look. Mario is one of my favorite games, and the frog suit is one of my favorite suits that he wears, so of course I had to make this. And this is a heart, just to kind of give homage to the Legend of Zelda games since they are my favorite. And just to let you guys know, this chart is not, it does not have the correct colors. For example, all the little blue stuff, the bubbles, that's really going to be white and the background is going to be blue. But just for the sake of saving some ink and not having it be too busy, I just kind of flip those colors around. Also, the heart is going to be red, and this pink stuff will also be red. But anyway, this is the chart. And so far, I have 2 rows done. I'm using really tiny granny squares. I don't know if you guys can see that or not. Sorry, I can't see the camera's picking it up or not. But anyway, they are really tiny granny squares, and all this is the first row of any granny square you would begin. All I did was look up YouTube videos on how to make a general granny square, and this is just the first row. That's all it is. It makes a tiny square about 2 by 2 inches, so it works out, and it gives me the option to make you know, like I guess a bigger picture within the same amount of blanket. I don't know if that makes sense to you guys, but that's how I kind of calculated and planned it out. And it should be big enough to cover nicely, you know, with a little extra hanging on the side and everything. A queen size, which is what I have. So, but this is how it looks like. I am using the Connect as you go, or I don't know the name of the technique. It's something like that, but you put them together as you go instead of having to crochet them all together, you know, once you finish all the squares. And that is what it's looking like. The only thing that annoys me is that I still have a lot of tails to put in. Of course, you guys can see, and I was looking up, again, in general, just online, any tips on how to hide the tails and avoid them from coming loose. But from what I found, unfortunately, a lot of the tips tell you to leave a long tail, maybe like 3 to 6 inches, which of course these are not. You guys can see there, if maybe, you know, an inch, if that. So if you guys have some tips on how to hide really short tails, I will really appreciate it. And I think that's the thing that I'm not looking forward to doing, just hiding all the tails, because you have to go square by square, and this is gonna take me a long time. As you guys can see, there's a lot of squares in there, so 1 pixel equals 1 square. Not looking forward to it, but you know, I think it'll be worth it in the end. And also, just to kind of help me going with this and the chart, I will be making a Tunisian crochet pillow from this chart, just to kind of, you know, keep me going with it, help me going basically, because this will take me a long time. And by my calculations, if I did 1 row of the blanket a week, like 1 row a week, it would take me a year to finish, which it's like amazing, because you know, I just told you guys I don't do good with huge projects, but again, I think that end result will be definitely worth it. Well, other than that, guys, that's it. Again, I will get on those patterns from Olivia's crochet and knit along for this month, so hopefully we'll have more to show you guys. Other than that, I'll see you next week. Bye.